सेट पे कैसे आई हैं आप?
I was doing graphic design for Azan Sami Khan's album. Then one day he was like, "Do you want to be in it?" And I was like, "Yes." And it was a scene, one of the first few scenes जहाँ मुझे गुस्सा होना है. गई मैं line like deliver करी. I was like, वो लड़का है इस घर पर काबिज हो गया है. सब खड़े हुए हैं. And you know how many people are on set. I was like, वो लड़का इस घर पर कब्ज हो गया है. And I keep saying my line.
Hey guys, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. This is Rabia and you're watching me on Fuchsia Magazine. जब भी इंडस्ट्री में नया टैलेंट आता है तो मुझे बड़ी खुशी होती है, बड़ी एक्साइटमेंट होती है कि हमें नए चेहरे देखने को मिलेंगे और नया पर्सपेक्टिव सुनने को और मे बी देखने को मिलेगा. तो आज मेरे साथ एक ऐसा ही नया चेहरा है. अब तो शायद थोड़ा पुराना होने लगा है, काफ़ी अरसे से हम उनको देख रहे हैं. एज मिनाल इन दोबारा. पेंटिंग उन्होंने सीखी है, पढ़ी है और ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनर है बाय प्रोफेशन, लेकिन हमने उनको एज एन एक्ट्रेस देखा है. आज मुलाकात करते हैं माहीन सिद्दीकी से और उनकी जर्नी के बारे में कुछ मालूम करते हैं. अस्सलाम वालेकुम माहीन, कैसी हैं आप?
ठीक, आप कैसी हैं?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक. मैंने सुना आप कैमरे से बहुत घबराती हैं.
हाँ, मैं बहुत अभी
कैमरा हुआ ये तक स्टार्ट करने से पहले ना शीज़ लाइक मैं अभी तक यूज़ नहीं हुए कैमरे में. कह रही हूँ सीरियसली? तो मैंने कहा स्टार्ट यहाँ से करते हैं. तो क्यों कैमरे से क्यों घबराती हैं? क्या होता है, क्या फील होता है?
Not actually, now I'm fine. लेकिन शुरू में I was just like, oh my god, cameras are standing right here. Maybe क्योंकि experience नहीं है ज़्यादा तो.
अभी कौन से वाले कैमरे से ज़्यादा डर लग रहा है?
Actually,
कौन से? इसको किसी मॉन्स्टर से मिलाना तो किस मॉन्स्टर से मिलाएंगी?
It's that one. लेकिन I think it's like a process, slowly and steady. I'll be fine.
और मुझे इतना इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहा है कि कैमरे से डर लग रहा है और आप एक्टिंग की फील्ड ज्वाइन कर चुकी हैं प्रोफेशनली और आपने कहा मुझे यही करना है.
I feel like अगर आप uncomfortable नहीं है तो फिर आप ग्रो नहीं कर रहे ना.
तो क्या होता था? हर बार शूट करती थी थोड़ा घबराहट होती थी?
Actually, जब मैं फ्लो में होती थी मैं ठीक थी. Like if I had 7 days shoot, I'd be fine. और फिर जब ब्रेक होता था 4 दिन का, I'd come back and be like, oh my god, it's happening again. The cameras are here.
The machines are here to catch me.
Something like that. No, but I think right now, by the way, believe it or not, मैं actually इतनी घबराई भी नहीं हूँ compared to my first day on Dobara.
क्या हुआ था पहले दिन?
कुछ process ही नहीं हो रहा था. Like दानिश भाई कह रहे थे बस आप इधर से इधर जाएं and I was like क्या करूँ? इधर से
कौन से इधर से कौन से?
आपको बस enter करना है, अपना बैग सोफे पर रखना है. I'm like okay. And it was such a hard process for me to do that.
तो कितनी बार गलत जगह बैग रखा?
It wasn't. I would go in and then I would forget to put the bag down. And I'd start doing my line. He's like, you have to put the bag down.
सबसे important जो है वो बैग है. You like मुझे अपने dialogues बोलने हैं. बैग आ जाएगा.
But it got better. The first few days were a bit rough, but it got better.
तो मुझे टोरंटो की लाइफ के बारे में बताएं, कैसी है?
It was very nice. मैं वहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए actually गई थी. So I did 4 years of university. और उसके बाद I started working there and it was nice. It was very different from like obviously life in Karachi. उससे पहले मैं बहरीन में रहती थी और उससे पहले I was in Ireland. तो it's been a very different setup. Every single setup has been different. जैसे जब मैं Ireland में थी, to go from Ireland to Saudi and then Bahrain, it was really, really intense. My mom had a hard time adjusting. We all had a hard time adjusting क्योंकि Ireland to Saudi बहुत intense. It's like she couldn't drive and there was a lot of that stuff. लेकिन every place I've lived, I've thoroughly enjoyed. Like मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया. Saudi में अलग experiences थे, Bahrain में अलग experiences थे. Toronto जाकर it was also fun because I was studying what I wanted to study and I got to work. I was a little bit more independent and then I moved to Karachi.
सबसे बेस्ट जगह कौन सी है?
I feel Bahrain अभी तक for me जी because my
slow नहीं है?
It's like a mini Dubai. So it's I feel like अगर आप अपना group find कर लें, I think it's different for me because my parents live there. So when I go to Bahrain, it's like my घर, like I'm home. And usually with situations like this, आपको बहुत you find it very weird because आपको पता नहीं होता आप किधर से हैं. Like जब मुझसे लोग
exactly मैं ये पूछने वाली थी.
जब मुझसे लोग यहाँ पूछते हैं अच्छा where are you from, obviously they know I'm Pakistani. लेकिन जब मैं बाहर रहती थी और मैं कहती थी हाँ I'm from Pakistan, they'd be like अच्छा तो what school, you know, yeah, like oh do you know this person, and a lot of the times I didn't. So even saying that I was from Pakistan was it felt like it felt a bit weird because it's like but where did you live? What's your address? Did you know?
नहीं वो तो होता है ना लाहौर कराची, पहला सवाल ही होता होगा कि लाहौर से या
और
कराची
वो भी
से।
it's like because my mom's from Lahore, my dad's from Karachi.
वहाँ भी कंफ्यूजन में फंस गए।
It's like half, you know, and then it just looks like then you're just like are you lying? What are you doing?
नहीं we don't accept, क्योंकि ना आप लाहौर की ना आप कराची के, हमें एक चाहिए, हमें
Exactly.
एक चाहिए।
And then
फिर।
वहाँ तो I feel like outside because you're when people are from Pakistan and they're living outside, there's also more extreme. Like हम कराची से, हम लाहौर से, and that whole feud.
I think वो कनेक्शन ज़्यादा होता है ना कि वो आप एक सिमिलर चीज़ों पे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, कराची वाले और लाहौर वाले, फिर उसके बाद सेकंड लेवल पे आप एस पाकिस्तानीज ग्रुप होते हैं। आई थिंक ये बहुत ज़्यादा वहाँ पे काम करता है।
I do like resonate a little more with Lahore क्योंकि growing up जब हम visit करते थे पाकिस्तान, I would go more to Lahore. My mom's side of the family lives there, तो लाहौर में मुझे ज़्यादा like restaurants पता हैं, like ज़्यादा चीज़ें पता हैं। मगर कराची अब यहाँ it's been now a year and a half, अब रहकर मुझे I know what a little bit about Karachi.
क्या अच्छा लगता है कराची के बारे में?
The food is actually a lot better.
है ना?
The food is a lot better. अभी मैं लाहौर में थी for a month and I was like I just want to eat easy. Like,
वो this is nice. This is nice.
I was like I want
बच्ची को हमने कराची वाला करा दिया है. That's nice.
So yeah, I think the food is a lot better in Karachi. The people are also really nice. I do find it easier to make friends in Lahore for some reason, but maybe that's just me.
अच्छा मुझे भी लाहौर का खाना बहुत पसंद है, मैं तो जाती हूँ तो I want to.
That is more than Karachi.
मुझे लगता है कराची की अपनी बात है, लाहौर की अपनी बात है, मैं कंपैरिजन नहीं कर रही होती हूँ। वो मुझे वहाँ की कुछ चीज़ें मुझे पता है, मुझे यहाँ की ये चीज़, यहाँ की ये चीज़, यहाँ की चीज़ खानी है, यू नो, तो मैं वो फिर मेरे जहन में होता है कि मुझे वो खानी है। वो मैं उस वक्त ये नहीं कर रही होती कि मुझे कराची से बेहतर या कराची से कम बेहतर चीज़ मिल रही है।
आई थिंक क्योंकि मुझे पता नहीं है मुझे वहाँ
हाँ, हो सकता है या लेकिन जो इतनी जगह आप बदलती रही हैं, इतने शहर बदलती रही हैं, उससे क्या इम्पैक्ट होता है ज़िंदगी में? क्या इंसान की पर्सनालिटी पे कैसे अफेक्ट होता है?
आई थिंक वन थिंग विच इज़ अ पॉजिटिव, आपके पास दोस्त होते हैं हर जगह से, तो अगर आपको कहीं उठकर जाना है, यू ऑलवेज हैव अ फ्रेंड देयर, बट यू लर्न टू लाइक be very like I have very few things. I know this sounds really weird.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
But I have like if I can pack everything I have in 1 to 2 suitcases and I'm good to go. So because I've lived in Toronto, always come back home, always gone back. I've moved a lot of apartments in Toronto, so I don't have much stuff. और मैं कलेक्ट भी नहीं करती इतनी ज़्यादा चीज़ें, लाइक मैं बहुत सिलेक्टिव हूँ, मुझे क्या चाहिए, मुझे क्या नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि I'm like, oh my god, मेरा सूटकेस, I'm like always on the go, आज तक मेरे सूटकेस में आएगा। अभी भी when I went to Lahore, like half of what I own was fit in one suitcase and I took it.
That is amazing.
So
मैं तो कभी भी नहीं कर सकती
lifestyle,
मैं तो कभी भी नहीं कर सकती। वो तो मुझे पता चल रहा है इतनी अच्छी तरीके से, लेकिन बड़ी मिनिमलिस्टिक ड्रेसिंग हुई हुई है, which was impressive. मैंने अपने लाल रेड इयरिंग्स पहने हुए थे, मैंने उतार के रख दिया है। मैं कहती बहुत ज़्यादा ओवर लगेंगे।
With the black and white, the red would have looked great.
हाँ, with you being so simple and I don't think
you compensated with the red nails. So.
Yeah, but I love your nails. That is yellow. दोबारा का रिस्पॉन्स कैसा है?
अच्छा है। मुझे अच्छा लगा जो भी मुझे रिस्पॉन्स
हाँ, आपका ही रिस्पॉन्स पूछ रही हूँ कि कैसा लोगों ने रिसीव किया।
शुरू में मैं बहुत नर्वस थी क्योंकि आई वाज लाइक ऑब्वियसली जब आप नए होते किसी फील्ड में, आपको पता है कि आप 1000 चीज़ें गलत कर रहे हैं, तो जब मैंने देखा भी अपने आप को स्क्रीन पर, आई मैंने ये क्यों किया, मैंने ये क्यों किया, लेकिन लोगों ने कहा, एंड आई गेस क्योंकि लोग जानते नहीं हैं मुझे, दे वर लाइक ओ आप कैरेक्टर बहुत अच्छा प्ले कर रही है ना। मैं ओ आपको दिख नहीं ना कि मैं कितनी नर्वस थी। लाइक नहीं आप कैरेक्टर बहुत अच्छा प्ले करिए। तो आई थिंक बिकॉज द कैरेक्टर डज कॉल फॉर लिटिल बिट ऑफ थोड़ी सी घबराई हुई,
इतनी कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है वो।
इट मेड
लेकिन मुझे नहीं लगा कि आप घबराई नहीं थी। हाँ। तो दोस्तें क्या कहती हैं, फ्रेंड्स क्या कह रही हैं जब उन्होंने देखा आपको, जो बाहर की, उनको पता है कि आप सेलिब्रिटी बन गई हैं? नहीं,
a lot of my friends वो उर्दू नहीं, like they don't speak Urdu. Like one of my really good friends, my best friend, she is Tamil.
Okay.
So she watches it with the subtitles और सब कुछ के साथ देखती है, लेकिन आई थिंक उनको ज़्यादा कल्चर के बारे में पता नहीं है और उनको ज़्यादा ड्रामा इंडस्ट्री के बारे में पता नहीं है कि वो द ड्रामा इंडस्ट्री इज रियली बिग इन पाकिस्तान। तो सब देखते तो हैं लेकिन उनको
पता नहीं है कि माहीन कितना
समझ नहीं आता, और वो कहते भी हैं लाइक ओ माय गॉड, लाइक यू आर एक्टिंग, लाइक दिस इज नॉट यू, लाइक you don't speak like this, so it's very
ये इंटरेस्टिंग फीडबैक मिल रही है हाँ. और फैमिली में बहन भाई क्या वो कुछ वैल्यू बढ़ी है या घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर है?
They don't care.
कोई ज़्यादा
अभी भी मैं अभी आ रही थी and like I'm standing there like इस्त्री my clothes and I'm like I have an interview every month.
कोई तो मेरी इज्जत करे, कोई मेरे लिए कपड़े इस्त्री कर दे, बट नहीं. I feel for you. खुद इस्त्री करने पड़े माहीन को कपड़े.
It's fine with like 6 साल टोरंटो
Of course मैं मजाक कर रही हूँ. I'm pulling your leg. Of course I know. मैं भी खुद ही कपड़े इस्त्री करती हूँ अपने भाई.
I was like किधर जा रही? I was like I have an interview, like थोड़ी सी importance. No one cared. So अपनी own चीज़ कर रहे थे and
मुझे वाकई आपका ना दुख फील हो रहा है भाई. मैं इंटरव्यू के लिए जा रही हूँ, लाइक अच्छा सो व्हाट, यू नो, कोई अटेंशन नहीं दे रहा है. ओके आपने ऑडिशन दिया था दानिश नवाज को, तो आप कह रही थी कि अजीब सा मैंने दिया, मैं तो सुन भी नहीं रही थी, मुझे लगा मैं तो पास भी नहीं होंगी, लेकिन मुझे कॉल आ गई. तो डिटेल में बताइए क्या हुआ था ऑडिशन पे?
very surprised. It was one of the scenes where Minaal Afan को डांट रही है, कह रही है कि you're out of line, like माँ से बदतमीजी मत करो. So he came in and then we did the audition, and obviously, as per usual, I was very nervous. And the thing with Danish Bhai is, which I also really like about him, it's like you don't know if he's joking or not. So you don't know if he's being serious or if he's just like making a joke, which has like been the whole my whole shooting experience with him. मुझे पता नहीं था कि मेरे साथ मजाक कर रहे हैं या like असली में कुछ कह रहे हैं. So I learned the lines. I gave the audition. उन्होंने एक और दफ़ा कहा कि like ऐसे करो, थोड़ी सी direction दी. He told me to add some action to it. मैंने थोड़ा सा like he gave me some direction to walk here, then deliver the line, then start doing something. So I did all of that, but I was just very like, and I did it, and I'd be like ऐसे, and then he'd be like keep doing it, you know. So I think I was very unsure as to अगर मैं सही कर रही थी या मैं गलत कर रही थी. तो जब मैं निकली भी I was very unsure, but this is me all the time. I'm very unsure about.
अच्छा आप जब पीछे देखती हैं कुछ अरसे पहले और अब सोचती हैं कि ओ वाओ मैंने तो एक्टिंग कर ली, यू नो एक पूरा ड्रामा मैंने कंप्लीट कर लिया है इन एडिशन टू अ सॉन्ग, तो क्या फील होता है कि यू नो कभी सोचती हैं कि मैंने रियलाइज़ भी नहीं किया था कि मेरे अंदर ये टैलेंट होगा और मैं परफॉर्म करूँगी या मैं एक्ट करूँगी, तो क्या फीलिंग आती है?
I am proud of myself. Like I'm very proud of myself in the sense कि मैंने किया जाकर, अगर मुझे कुछ करना था I did it. I didn't let like obviously we're joking about this like, but I didn't let like my anxiety या my nerves ruin something that I could potentially do. Like जितना भी मैं घबराती हूँ, I still put myself in those situations जहाँ मैं घबराती हूँ, and I feel like आप grow करते हो उन चीज़ों से. Like I am a very shy person. I am very, if I don't know you, I'll be very, you think I'm introverted. Lekin I still do these things that really scare me.
Like the cameras.
And when I do them, I feel good. Like I feel like this is like, it's a little triumph for me. I was like, oh, ye bhi kar diya maine. And with acting, it's like I've always been very interested in it. I've always been, whether it be the back end of it or acting in front of the camera, it's always been very exciting to me. I did do acting classes when I was in Toronto.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
अच्छा, okay.
Obviously, they were in English.
That's okay. Skill तो फिर भी pick किया होगा ना कुछ वहाँ से.
तो मैंने वो भी किया था, and it was something that was always really exciting. Me and my siblings would always put plays together जब हम छोटे थे. हम like talent show हमारा होता था. नाना नानी के लिए talent show करते थे हर साल. My nana was actually an ambassador, तो हम like पूरा उनके लिए कर like His Excellency, and then हम उनके लिए पूरा like show like we used to make a whole show for him, me, my siblings, my cousins. So I had it from a very young age.
तो ख्याल था मतलब वो अच्छा okay.
So I always was interested in it, and then I had people around me who were in the field, like Nadia Khala, Nadia Jameel, or whether it be Zeba Khala, and they were always people who I would be like, oh my god, that's so cool, like look at these women. So it was always something that interested me.
अच्छा नादिया जमील को भी जानती हैं?
She's really good friends with my mother.
Okay.
So they went to Kinnaid together, to school together, and then also really good friends with like family, like her parents were really good friends with my नाना नानी.
तो उन्होंने जब आपकी परफॉर्मेंस देखी तो कुछ कहा? कोई
मैं
कॉल आई, कोई
उनको
मैसेज
वीडियोस
किया?
भेजती थी पहले of me doing these scenes, and I'd be like, critique me, like when I used to live in Toronto, and she would like fully, like I appreciate this so much, she'd fully send me feedback and be like, you blink too much, you know, or whether it be like, you know, do the dialogue delivery like this, and I would always go to her for like that type of advice, and she knew I was always interested in it. So when I actually got the job, and I messaged her, she was like very, very excited and very proud. She was actually very excited when I did the music video.
Okay.
And then when I told her कि I got this drama and I'm working with Danish Bhai and stuff, she was super excited. She's like, FaceTime me from set. But obviously I was like, this is like me flexing so much in front of people. I was like, later we'll talk later.
But उन्होंने कोई आपका सीन देख के कुछ कोई फीडबैक दिया कभी, या तारीफ की या कुछ बोला कि या
we're like due for a call, I believe. Like recently I was telling her like, please look at it and tell me what you think, because she's also been busy. She was shooting as well. But nothing in specific yet. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting to know कि आप अच्छा उन्होंने भी आपको टीच किया हुआ है थोड़ा बहुत, तो फिर तो काफ़ी आपको अच्छी जगह से ट्रेनिंग मिली हुई है. तो कहाँ से सेट पे कैसे आई हैं आप? पाकिस्तान you started with the set at Shamuddin के set पे, ऐसा कुछ था, right?
नहीं, I was doing graphic design for Azan Sami Khan's album.
Okay.
So I did all the design for his album and the artwork and all of that. So when I was doing that, वो लोग music video की preparations कर रहे थे for मैं तेरा. So that's when I met Ehtisham sir. And he was very adamant on having someone new, and they were looking at a lot of new people, and I was actually also helping them find someone new. And then one day he was like, why not? Why don't you want? Do you want to be in it? And I was like, yes.
तो पहली बार में हाँ बोल दिया था.
I was like, नहीं, I was more like, are you sure? थोड़ा सा वो भी था. I was very, very double-minded about it, because I was like, oh, I don't want to. It was such a big project, and there was so much like love and like hard work going into it, that I was like, I don't want to go and ruin something. ये मेरा, like, it's my first time, and there were all these really big names attached to it. Well, Azan being one of them, but like Suleiman sir, the DOP, Ehtisham sir, Mavi, Adnan bhai, and it was just like very scary, because I was like, these are like people that like the best people work with. So I was very scared कि मैं justice कर पाऊँगी. And then when he explained it to me, Ehtisham sir has a really, really great quality where he just makes you feel very calm. And I think he knew from the beginning कि मैं बहुत nervous और jittery सी बंदी हूँ. And he was like, बिल्कुल घबराना नहीं है, आराम से, everything is fine. And actually वो first shot मेरा ही shot था. And I remember जब कह रहे थे कि first shot माहीन का shot होगा, it was like a very exciting thing for everyone, and I was just like, oh my god, what do you mean? And I was like, you know, you're all of a sudden in this world, like rollers लगे में, like बाल में, and you have so much makeup on that you're not used to, and you're just like, oh my god, like थोड़ा सा आपका imposter syndrome भी kick in होता है, like, am I actually meant to be here, or am I? So it was that, but he made you feel so comfortable, and he's like, okay, you got this, or I like how the video turned out.
अपने आप को जब पहली बार देखा कैमरे में, स्क्रीन पे देखा, तो क्या जहन में आया?
जब मैंने देखा था तो बहुत सारे लोग मेरे साथ थे who were also involved in the project, so I couldn't be like, ew. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I was like, great, very nice. I feel like आप अपने biggest critic होते हैं ना, like इतने I'm very critical of myself, so when I saw it I was like, there are 1,000 things I could have done differently, but because the best people were involved, I was like, I know
कुछ तो सही होगा.
I know that they've done like a great job, so I was like, okay, fine, this is.
नहीं, कुछ लोग होते हैं ना अपने आप को देखे थे, हाँ मैं अच्छी लग रही हूँ, मज़ा आ रहा है. कुछ लोग कहते हैं नहीं यार मेरे बाल ऐसे नहीं होने चाहिए थे, ये नहीं होने. So you
I want to be that person. The person who's like, oh my god, I look so amazing.
But you're not. तो दोबारा में जब आई तब अपने आप को पहली बार देख के क्या लगा?
दोबारा में जब मैं आई, because अब मैं बोल रही थी. I'm like, oh my god.
This is a good one.
I was like, oh my god, now she's like talking. Stop talking.
Okay, I didn't think of it. Now she's talking.
So I was like, जब मैं दोबारा में आई थी, it took a lot of time. मैं वो ड्रामा लोगों के साथ नहीं देख पा रही थी. My mom would be like, let's watch it together. I'd be like, no, I'd take my phone to the bathroom. I'd watch it in the bathroom. And I'd like look at everyone else's scenes so aram se. I'd be like, oh my god, like Hadika ji is doing such a great job here, and this and that. And then my scene would come and I'd be like looking at it like this with my phone, like my phone is here and my face is here, because I just couldn't like absorb it. Now it's a bit अब जो भी like embarrassing चीजें होनी थी हो गई हैं.
क्या embarrassing चीज हुई थी?
जैसे like भाई बहन मजाक उड़ाना.
अच्छा, okay,
वो चीजें, my dad making a few jokes.
Like? You have to share.
like I don't know, like scenes like he's like, oh तुम्हारी शादी हुई हुई है, then he finds that really funny कि मेरी शादी हुई हुई है ड्रामे में, and he's like, okay, good for you. You know, so he finds these things really funny. He finds it funny that I say ma, because he's like इतने प्यार से माँ
ये अच्छा, तुम इतना प्यार से हमसे तभी बात करती है ना, मैं एक्टिंग कर रही हूँ वहाँ पे.
So he finds these things funny. But I think everyone has like a bit of excitement. Like सब बहुत excited होते हैं जब वो drama air होता है Wednesday को. They're like, अच्छा ठीक है माहीन का drama आ रहा है. My mom is obviously biggest fan and biggest supporter, so she's just like, this is my dream.
कोई fan reaction आता है, बाहर जाती हैं लोग पहचानते हैं, कुछ हुआ है, कोई किस्सा है जो सुना सकती हैं? या अभी शादियों पे लाहौर में गई थी तब कुछ हुआ?
Their aunties were very like, and I would get very like, oh, like because they would say Minaal, right? They don't know my name, so they would say Minaal, and I wouldn't even know that they're talking to me. I'd be like, and they'd be like, हाँ आप Dobara में है ना? I was like, gee. And then they'd want to take a picture, and I'd be like, मेरे साथ क्यों? And then we take the picture. Actually, it's a very bad habit of mine, but then it's so sweet that they come up and they're like, let's take a picture. And I always go like, why? Like, why do you want to take a picture? Magar, everyone has been so kind. They like the character. I was actually at a after party for a friend's wedding recently, and this girl who was around my age, wo aayi thi, and she was like, oh my god, Minaal ho Dobara se. And I was like, oh my god, even like this is so cool. I was like, yes. So then we took a picture, but it was, I find it a bit surreal. Like मुझे लगता है कि like
क्या हो रहा है,
हाँ
हो भी रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है,
ये हो रहा है, और like लोग ड्रामा देखते हैं, like I know लोग ड्रामा देखते हैं, लेकिन like oh my god लोग मुझे पहचानते हैं ड्रामा से या कैरेक्टर के साथ रेजोनेट करते हैं. Like there are a lot of girls who like DM me sometimes going like, your drama, when initially when she was being very supportive of her mother and stuff, she like, it reminds me so much of my relationship with my mom.
That's so sweet.
Those things were really I really like those things, like when that type of reaction comes.
सोचा था उर्दू की क्लासेस ले लें कि बाद में स्ट्रेस नहीं था कि एक्सेंट का मजाक उड़ाया जाएगा. जब
मेरी उर्दू ठीक है, I feel like जितना मैं अपना मजाक उड़ाती हूँ मेरी उर्दू ठीक है, लेकिन जब लोगों के सामने
यहाँ कोई लोग नहीं है वैसे, लोगों के सामने दो कैमरे, प्रिटेंड क्राउड है माहीन के जहन का.
जब उर्दू बोलनी होती है फिर मैं थोड़ा सा घबरा जाती हूँ, लेकिन घर पे मैं उर्दू
नहीं. आप एक्टिंग करने जा रही थी ना, तो वहाँ पे एक मतलब आम स्ट्रीट लैंग्वेज जो बोली जाती है या आप यूजुअली ज़िंदगी में जो बोल रहे हो उससे कंपैरिजन में जब आप ड्रामे में करते हैं तो काफ़ी उर्दू, बिकॉज जब आप सेलिब्रिटी मतलब आप एक रिकग्नाइज्ड फेस हो जाते हैं, लोगों की व्यूअर्स की एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है, उस पर थोड़ी सी बैशिंग आ सकती है कि यार तुम एक्टिंग करने क्यों आई हो अगर तुमने इसको एक खास, अगर तुम उर्दू सही नहीं बोल सकती हो. बहुत से लोग कहते हैं अगर आई हो करने तो फिर उर्दू सीख भी लेती. तो ये जहन में आ रहा था, ये कोई ऐसी बैशिंग हुई आपको फेस करना पड़ा?
जी, आई थिंक मोर सो अब लाइक मैंने इन माई ऑफ टाइम मैंने कोशिश की है कि मैं ज़्यादा उर्दू बोलूँ, मैं ज़्यादा उर्दू पढ़ूँ, किताबें पढ़ूँ, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ूँ, विच इज़ व्हाट पीपल से. लेकिन मोर देन दैट आई फील लाइक अगर आप प्रैक्टिस करते रहते हैं तो इट गेट्स बेटर. I think it's not the Urdu, it's more the confidence in speaking in Urdu. मगर before starting Dobara मैंने नापा पर 4-5 classes ली थी.
Wow, okay.
With Sunil Shankar. He was
for Urdu? Yeah,
no, because I was going to start doing this drama and I was like, oh my god, they've taken me in this drama. I don't know what to do. So and I've never taken classes for acting in Urdu. तो मैंने उनके साथ classes ली थी and he was very kind, he was very very encouraging. उन्होंने कहा था कि अगर आपको मुश्किल होती है लफ्ज़ों, like you say it like how you say it how you want to say it, you know, and if that's not okay then correct it, लेकिन say it how it comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
तो उन्होंने बहुत मेरी मदद की थी उधर and he helped me a lot with like the etiquette. और इधर आप acting में it's a whole different way of acting. It's a like the quintessential Pakistani girl carries herself differently, right? And it's a lot of that. So he was very helpful in how to dissect that and dissect the character. And then दानिश भाई के साथ भी बहुत character dissect किया था. बहुत दफ़ा मैंने उनके पास गई थी with questions to be like मुझे समझा दें. He'd be like अभी समझाया था लेकिन okay, let's do it. But every time I asked him questions, हर दफ़ा he was very patient and very 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 helpful. Which is why I feel like character को बनाने में भी बहुत मज़ा आया था because इतनी help मिली थी
Yeah.
in that sense.
मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के माहीन कि आप एक्चुअली यू वेंट एंड यू टू क्लासेस. आई एम वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड बिकॉज बहुत कम लोग ऐसा करते हैं. और मुझे लगता है कि सॉरी मी बीइंग ऑनेस्ट कि करना चाहिए जब आप एक नई चीज़ में आ रहे हैं. तो उस फील्ड की भी रिस्पेक्ट में थोड़ा सा कर लें तो उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है. सो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू हेयर दैट कि आपने एक्चुअली एफर्ट की और कोशिश किया कि आप एक नई चीज़ में एंटर हो रही हैं और आप उसको सीखें.
It's also because आप सेट पर जब जाते हैं, there's so many people there to work. ठीक है, और अगर आप वहाँ जाकर सीख रहे हैं, it's very, I find it a bit disrespectful. I remember Asim Saab saying to me कि like you should have your homework done before you go onto set, because you can't waste time there. There's like money involved. There's like people there. Everyone is giving their time. Everyone has years of work experience. And if you're there to just mess around and not know what you're doing, then you have no respect for the craft, basically. So when I found out that I got the role, I was very like कि मुझे जाकर ये नहीं सुनना कि like पता नहीं किधर से आ गई और उसने उस काम भी नहीं करना आता है, and this and that. And that was very important to me कि if anything, even if I'm not the best right now, like as long as like I have the drive, the work ethic, and I'm like still.
And you have tried your best. I think that is the most important. चीज़ ये होती है कि आपने अपना बेस्ट किया है, पर आगे अल्लाह मालिक है, ओवर द टाइम चीज़ें होती रहती हैं. प्रेशर था कि आप जानती हैं अजान की अम्मी को, ज़ेबा बख्तियार को. वो तो आप जैसे आपने एक्सप्लेन किया, आप सेट पे काम कर रही थी और एहतशाम साहब ने आपको देखा एंड वो हुआ. लेकिन आपको फील होता है कि आप उनको जानती हैं तो आपको ज़्यादा बेहतर परफॉर्म करना पड़ रहा है.
Yes, because both of them actually hold themselves with a lot of grace and respect, and like obviously if like people know me through them or if my name is even slightly associated with them, I would never want to disrespect what they have worked for really hard in any way, and never want them to be like, oh, she, even like from the smallest thing, or like wo late aati hai, yeah, like, or she's not nice on set, or whether she's not fun to work with. Like these things were very important to me, just because they are also like family
involved in this,
and and they are also involved in this, and you do represent a certain sort of thing. So I was very cautious to make sure.
एक्टिंग के बारे में क्या चीज़ अच्छी लगती है? बहुत हार्ड वर्क है मुझे तो लगता है.
It's very hard. I did not know that initially.
Seriously, very honest. नहीं, okay. I thought हर काम का होता है, लेकिन जब मैंने सेट्स पे जाना शुरू किया माही, और मैंने देखा कि क्या इन्वॉल्व है इस चीज़ में, पूरे प्रोसेस में, I had newfound respect for all the actors. I was like, wow, ये तो बहुत मेहनत का काम है. जितना ग्लैमरस लगता है उससे बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत और ख्वारी का काम है ये.
It is hard work, especially for those people जो like for instance Siddiqa ji and Pinar were like the leads, तो उधर तो ज़्यादा भी काम होता है. You're day in day out आप set पर होते हैं, पूरा दिन आप set पर होते हैं. आपके पास कोई like life नहीं होती when you're shooting. आपके पास कोई life नहीं होती beyond shooting. तो even with me it was like stretch, like we were working 7-8 days in a stretch. Even the 2-3 days you would get off अगर location कोई like location क्या बोलते हैं confirm हो गई, या like it's easier to shoot some sequence now instead of later. तो आप स्टैंड बाय पर ही होते हैं, यू always on call, फिर आपको बुला लेते हैं, you want to finish the project, you want to not waste anyone's time. So it's, you dedicate your life for like 6 months to that project then for sure, and it is hard work, but the end result also makes.
लेकिन प्रोसेस में क्या चीज़ मज़े की लगती है कि आप एक्टिंग करना चाह रही हैं? फेवरेट पार्ट क्या है आपका?
I do like acting. Like when I'm as much as I'm like I get so nervous, I do enjoy acting. I do like telling someone else's story. This is all stuff that I really thoroughly enjoy. My nerves obviously are things I think आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो इंशाल्लाह ख़त्म हो जाए. लेकिन the whole aspect of it, like getting into character, I have a lot of fun doing that. Dissecting जो lines होंगी, dissecting character आज करेगा क्या, character अब किधर पहुंचा है story में, talking to people जो उसी wavelength पर सोच रहे हैं, you know, being around such like talented people, that was like a really fun part for me. Being around Sakina Appa, which was like so much fun and so
educational.
So educational, such a learning process. She was just so like free with her advice that I was like, please just keep telling me everything, give me your knowledge. So those things were all really fun, and I think you learn a lot more about yourself when you're on set. You realize you can work a lot harder than you think. You can do certain things maybe you didn't think. Like there was कभी scenes आते थे I'd be like मैं ये कैसे करूँगी, like मैं ये कैसे करूँगी, क्योंकि for me it's a lot about getting out of my head. और फिर जब मैं करती थी it would be like a triumph, right?
Yeah.
Like आप feel करते थे कि ठीक है मैं ये भी कर सकती हूँ. तो acting for me is like every day I get to like learn something new about myself and new about the character and you know do something that I think is really scary.
माहीन, जब नए एक्टर्स आते हैं उनको सेट पे हम भेज देते हैं, बट डायरेक्टर्स जो हैं वो ऑलरेडी बहुत बिजी होते हैं, बहुत ढेर सारे सीन्स होते हैं जो शूट करने होते हैं, इतनी चीज़ें मैनेज करनी होती हैं, तो कभी कभी नए एक्टर्स को उतना टाइम नहीं दिया जा सकता होता जितना मे बी उनको चाहिए, यू नो. फिर हम उनका पोटेंशियल भी सही तरीके से नहीं देख पाते हैं. आपको, क्योंकि आप भी इस फील्ड में नहीं आई हैं, आपको क्या लगता है कि ऐसा होना चाहिए कि थोड़ा सा पहले बता दें कि या कोई शॉर्ट कोर्स करके आ जाओ या थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम दे दें, या यू थिंक दिस इज़ ओके, इसी तरह आप 3-4 ड्रामों में करके सीख लेंगे, और थोड़ी अगर आपको ऑडियंस और रिव्यूअर्स बैशिंग करते हैं कि यार सॉलिड परफॉर्मेंस नहीं थी तो बर्दाश्त कर लें, आपका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव है इसके बाद?
अगर लाइक ऑब्वियसली डायरेक्टर बहुत बिजी रहे, लाइक ही इज़ वेरी बिजी, उनके पास बहुत चीज़ें होती हैं जो उनको ऑब्वियसली जगल करनी है, तो इफ़ यू कैन टेक दैट चैलेंज अपॉन योर सेल्फ एंड बी लाइक कि मैं ले लेती हूँ 2-3 क्लासेस यू नो एट नापा, या मैं एक्टिंग कोच हायर कर लेती हूँ बिकॉज इट विल ओनली बेटर माई क्राफ्ट, आई थिंक दैट्स योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी.
ठीक है, इंटरेस्टिंग.
अगर आपको कैरेक्टर के पास लाइक बारे में क्वेश्चंस हैं या आपको अपना लाइक अपनी नैरेटिव, अपना स्टोरी थोड़ा बनाना है, 100% go ask them and if like do that thing, like badger them, be like मुझे बताएं please आप कैसे देखते हैं, like how do you see this character, how do you want me to do it. There's nothing wrong with being like मुझे नहीं पता, and I'm very like that. I'm very like Danish bhai, I don't know how to do this, like ये loves कैसे बोलते हैं, you know, like anything like that. So that's your responsibility. अगर आप set पे पहुंच गए thinking you know everything and then they're telling you 3,000 things you're doing wrong, आप थोड़ा सा अपना भी होमवर्क कर आए ना. You can't be like
interesting point of view,
holding hands and being like guide me, although I feel like मैंने बहुत ये किया भी था कि I was like please everyone help me, लेकिन I also asked for the help, right? I was like मुझे
कौन सा जुमला या वर्ड था जो सबसे ज़्यादा मसला हुआ बोलने में और बहुत देर लगी प्रोनाउंस करने में या उसको डायलॉग को करने में? कोई डायलॉग या वर्ड?
I don't know if I should tell the story, but I'll say it, and then you can see if you want to keep it. But it's really funny. I had this line in the drama. Okay, fine. I had this line basically where I had to say the word ये like लड़का काबिज हो गया है or something like that. ये लड़का काबिज हो गया है, वो
जायदाद पे काबिज हो गया है.
It was about that. And then I was saying it and it was a scene, one of the first few scenes जहाँ मुझे गुस्सा होना है, तो मुझे nerves थी and like adrenaline pumping, और मैं गुस्सा होती नहीं हूँ, तो जब मैं गुस्सा होती बस मेरा दिल धड़कने लग जाता है, तो I wasn't angry, मेरे बस दिल बहुत ज़ोर से धड़क रहा था. And then मैं गई, मैं लाइन like deliver करी, I was like वो लड़का है इस घर पर काबिज हो गया है, और मैंने कहा सब खड़े हुए हैं, you know how many people are on set, I was like वो लड़का इस घर पर कब्ज हो गया है, you know, and I am just and I keep saying my line, and I don't, and everyone starts laughing. Like there were these two.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. This was literally the reaction, and
the line has to go out.
No, it's funny. You can keep it.
No, my line.
Okay. So then this happens, and the two girls who were playing like little sisters and stuff, they're just like they start laughing, right? And I thought कि मैंने line गलत कह दी, right? तो सब हंसने लग गए, like तामीन भाई, DOP starts laughing, everyone starts laughing, and then I'm so nervous. This was like my second week. I started tearing up.
Oh God! Right? Second week में?
Yeah, second, third week. Like first month में था, and I start tearing up, and I'm like yeah, but did I do it wrong? Like line नहीं याद हो रही मुझसे, did I do it wrong? And then Hadika ji is so sweet. She's like, beta, काबिज means constipation. I mean, comes means constipation. She's like, beta comes means constipation. And I'm like, you know, and then I'm saying the line, but every time I get to Qabis, everyone wants to laugh, right? और फिर मैं, I think a few times मैंने फिर से Qabis भी कहा था उसी line में, क्योंकि now I'm just nervous, right? But this was honestly one of the sweetest moments I had with Hadika ji, because when I walked out of that scene, and because it was a scene where we walked in and then we walked out. So when I walked out of the scene, I started crying, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I shouldn't be here. And she was like very like, don't do this, you know, like you got this, like very good pep talk and stuff like that. But it was a very defining moment for me on set. Like sabne definitely wo yaad kiya.
You made everybody laugh.
Yeah, it made everybody laugh, but I was not laughing in that moment.
I'm just trying to make you feel better.
I now that I look back and I think it honestly was so funny.
कौन था set पे?
I'm happy none of the guys were there, because then it would have
the
just
guys.
become
Okay, then you were saved, yeah.
It was just me, Hadika ji,
And the two girls.
And the two girls, yeah.
Okay.
But it was, yeah, it was very fun, very, very.
Thank you for sharing it with us. I think ये share करने में भी आपको काफी हिम्मत लगी होगी. So I want to admire your bravery. आपका ख्याल है acting ने आपको किसी तरीके से change कर दिया है?
I think थोड़ा सा it does make a person more sure of themselves. थोड़ा सा आपको confident definitely करता है, और ये आपकी confidence build करता है. To be so vulnerable in front of a bunch of people is a very scary thing. I don't think it's easy. I admire anyone who does it so effortlessly. मुझे पता है it probably is years of experience या just working on yourself. लेकिन for sure it's the confidence thing.
I think brave भी बना देता है. मतलब मैं अब आपकी बातें सुन रही हूँ तो मुझे तो लगता है बहुत बहादुरी चाहिए कि आपने ये चीज़ किया है फिर उसको फेस करें. एंड मतलब जो भी है अभी हम हंस रहे हैं, बट आई थिंक 2 दिन तो आप सोचती रहोगे, ओह गॉड व्हाट डिड आई डू.
After that moment, like I didn't want to go on set. And then the thing was that I really, really look up to Hadika ji and Danish bhai and even Zameen bhai, the DOP. So it was just very embarrassing to be like, oh my god, she's saying constipation on camera. Like,
but वही मैं कह रही हूँ ना, फिर it requires courage कि आप वापस उस set पे जाएं जहाँ आप you did that. So I think makes you brave and gives you more courage. पाकिस्तान शिफ्ट होना, ये ख्याल कैसे आया? जो लोग बाहर रहे होते हैं ज़िंदगी का मोस्टली हिस्सा और पले बड़े बाहर होते हैं, उनका मुझे लगता है बहुत कम ये होता है कि वो पाकिस्तान वापस आएँ. तो आपका टोरंटो में ये डिसीजन लेना कि मैं पाकिस्तान वापस जाऊँ, पाकिस्तान को एक्सप्लोर करूँ, किस चीज़ ने प्रॉम्प्ट किया, क्यों हुआ ये?
वही the thing I was discussing with you earlier, where it's like आपसे जब कोई पूछता है आप किधर से हैं, आपको जब आपको वो confusion होती है, I feel like you realize कि आपको शायद थोड़ा सा और explore करना पड़े. For me, like it was Pakistan, because I said कि मैं पाकिस्तान से हूँ, मैं कभी रही नहीं हूँ. I wanted to be able to be like मैं वहाँ रही हूँ, I know the culture, I understand it. Although my parents have done a very good job with instilling the culture and even the language. हम आयरलैंड में उर्दू ही बोलते थे घर पर, and like that's how we learned it. लेकिन there is something to be said about living in the country you're from.
Of course,
और आप जितना भी बाहर रहें, जितना भी आपको मज़ा आए, I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Toronto. I miss it all the time. There's nothing like being in the country you're from. And even though मुझे jokes नहीं समझ आते half the time या मुझे food poisoning हो जाती है, I still really enjoy Pakistan. I still really enjoy Pakistan, and it is it's been such an experience. Like honestly, I came a year and a half ago, and then I did a drama, and I got to explore certain things जो मुझे पता भी नहीं था मैं explore कर सकती हूँ. And
कितनी नई opportunities खोल दिया उस एक decision ने ना.
Exactly.
But आप थोड़े दिन के लिए आई थी, आपने सोचा नहीं था permanently रहेंगी या permanently रहने का सोच के आई थी?
नहीं, I was only here for 3 months. मैं वो design करने आई थी और मैं वापस जा रही थी. फिर when I did that, I was like, I want to sit here and then try to see what I can do.
Okay.
तो फिर मैंने कहा कि अगर मैं कुछ करूँगी, I'm going to do it wholeheartedly. So
कितनी एडजस्टमेंट करना पड़ रही है पाकिस्तान के लाइफस्टाइल के लिए? कभी कभी फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग हो जाता है, कुछ चेंजेस, कुछ एडजस्टमेंट्स?
Obviously, like I've come to Pakistan growing up. मुझे पता है कि like what works here, what doesn't work here. लेकिन थोड़ा सा like वो because I've lived outside for so long, I feel like लोग यहाँ, like for instance, it's such a small example, but like friendliness is taken as being flirty or something like that. तो वो चीज़ें मुझे थोड़ा सा बहुत like I found those things weird. जब मैं शुरू में आई थी, I am very like Assalamu alaikum, hello, how are you, smiling.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are not that open and like welcoming like that here. So it's very like, oh,
इसका तो कुछ और ही मतलब है.
or something, or like, oh, she's just so like, like, you know, like this. And I realized मैं बहुत suppress करती थी initially when I used to come here. I'd be like, oh, should I say hello? Like मैं क्या सलाम करूँ या क्या करूँ? And then I was just like, okay, like leave it now. Like this is just how I am. Like if I remember saying this thing too in my like last interview, the gym thing, where I was just smiling at someone and then they went back to their friend and they're like, oh, देखो, like she's smiling at me.
Oh really?
Yeah, because they were just like passing by me and then I was like,
You can't even smile in Pakistan.
I was, you know, like that, like stuff like that.
सब ऐसे नहीं होते. वो एक बुरा experience था.
It's not everyone, but it's just like कभी-कभी आपको थोड़ा सा aware होना होता है ऐसी चीज़ों के बारे में. And I feel like you just need to. It's so bad to say this, but here it's expected that a girl be a bit more reserved. And I'm not saying like that's a bad thing or anything, but it's just like, you know, there's a certain way you have to conduct yourself. You know, it has to be a bit more like in a certain way, which is a bit different from living outside. You can say hello, you can say hi to everyone, you can be friendly, and it's not perceived as something that she has another motive or she's like, you know.
वहाँ पे वो जान पहचान दोस्तियाँ सब equal level पे होती हैं. वो ये नहीं है कि अगर लड़का लड़की से लड़की लड़के से बात करिए तो वो गलत सेंस में ही लिया जाएगा. I think this is what you mean, right?
A little bit of that too, but even like when it comes to making friends with girls and stuff like that, like what I was saying to you earlier, I did find it very hard to make friends here, and I don't know why that is. Lekin people just usually like to stay in their cliques.
So ये अभी भी है.
It is. I've found my own little group of friends, which like includes like my cousin and like 2 other people, but. मुझे initially बहुत like I used to feel really upset about that because I'm used to having like in Toronto I had my group of friends, and then here थोड़ा सा मुश्किल था क्योंकि सब स्कूल से सबको जानते हैं, like, आपके crowds होते हैं और like no one wants like new people in their group of friends.
Sadly, I will admit कि ये पाकिस्तान में कराची में तो है definitely, क्योंकि सब बचपन से पले बड़े होते हैं, तो आपका स्कूल का फ्रेंड का ग्रुप होता है और आपके कजन्स का ग्रुप होता है, बस उसी में आप फिर जॉब हो जाए तो जॉब का ग्रुप होता है, बस ये 3 ग्रुप्स में आप घूम रहे होते हैं, फिर कहीं और की जगह नहीं मिलती. तो yes, ये definitely है. But how's the industry? Is the industry welcoming towards newcomers?
I had a very good experience. Like there was nothing that was negative in any way. As like you make certain people you click with more, certain people you are friends with in that moment, and then it moves on. Magar because I've moved so much, like even that is very normal to me. कि like आप 6 महीने के लिए बहुत close थे और फिर अब आप like you know नहीं हैं. लेकिन everyone was very welcoming. Honestly, set पर सब ने बहुत ख्याल रखा था मेरा. उनको पता था कि मैं नई थी, उनको पता था मैं घबराई हुई थी. And line, whether it be like lines, like let's go to the other room or lines करते हैं. You don't need to do that as a veteran actor. Like Dabil would do this all the time. He like will like run lines, and he's like सब नहीं करेंगे ये तुम्हारे साथ. Like it's okay, we'll do this, right? Because he knew कि हर scene में it was difficult for me to find a momentum with everyone so fast, like because you're working with so many people. तो सब ने बहुत help उस तरह किया था कि very 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 welcoming, very very caring, very very understanding कि ये लफ्ज़ ऐसे बोलो या ये लाइन ऐसे बोलो या Sakina Appa would do this a lot. She'd be like, when you do this, like ऐसा सा look देना, you know, and it was like so
nice.
Yeah, it's like I'm not thinking about those things because there's so many other things I'm thinking about. So she was very helpful like that.
Okay. दोबारा ने आपके thought process को change किया? स्क्रिप्ट ने, स्टोरी ने, पूरा?
स्टोरी या for sure. मुझे actually पता नहीं था कि जब मैं comments पढ़ती हूँ कि लोगों को ऐसी चीज़ से इतना मसला होगा. Like तो आपको ये नॉर्मल लगती है बात अगर आप किसी के बारे में सुने कि मेरी फैमिली में there is an instance like that. So I didn't think it, and no one cared. Like everyone was like, as long as they love each other, it's all okay. लेकिन people really did mind. Yeah. But I think it's amazing, a progressive way. Like आप ऐसी stories फिर बतानी चाहिए. Like they should be shown to normalize it. Obviously, I think right now it's in a negative space. Abhi in the timeline. But yeah, it was very interesting to me But I think that Hadika ji and Bilal have really carried themselves with a lot of grace and have really shown that story in a very, very beautiful way. So I'm very excited to see.
Would you do something like that if you were in Mehru's place?
If I was older?
Would you be brave enough?
Oh, I don't know. That's a very interesting question.
Because कहना आसान होता है, लोगों की बातें सुनना ज़रा मुश्किल लगता है, मुझे लगता है.
If, like, for instance, my husband died and all of that.
we'll go directly to the नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, but
I just feel like
age difference इतना ज़्यादा होता है, 15 साल का, 12 साल का maybe, you know. So would you have gone for somebody like that?
अगर आप
या लोग क्या कहेंगे would have made a difference.
Because मैं वही कहना चाह रही थी क्योंकि मुझे पता नहीं था this was going to be such a controversial
इसीलिए मैं पूछ रही हूँ. अब जब पता चल गया है और जो कमेंट्स आप देख लीजिए वो कमेंट कहीं सुनने को ना मिल जाए एक्चुअली में ज़िंदगी में, does it scare you?
No, because honestly my family's approval is the only approval I ever look for. तो अगर उनको नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम होती तो फिर मुझे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. Like if people I don't know are saying don't do that, like what do they know about my life to tell me अभी आप ये करें या वो करें. लेकिन if my mother for instance was saying कि no, then I think about it. So
नाइस, इंटरेस्टिंग. दोबारा पे आते हैं
जी.
दोबारा आया कैसे आपके पास?
After I did the music video, because the music video was distributed through Hum, so then Hum called me and they asked me to audition. I actually auditioned for another thing before.
अच्छा.
And
वो नहीं हुआ या आपने मना कर दिया?
वो नहीं हुआ. It was a very advanced project. I did not think I could carry it, and also they didn't think I was the right fit for it. And honestly, who it went to, I'm very like grateful they even considered me. I was like, what?
Okay.
Then they called me in for Dobara. They had told me the script beforehand, like yes, I scripted and this that, and then I went in and I auditioned. And I hadn't heard back for like 3-4 weeks after the audition. And then मैं लाहौर में थी, and then they called and they were like,
आजे.
I was like, are you sure? क्योंकि मैं अभी लाहौर में हूँ, तो अगर मैं आऊँ और नहीं हुआ,
मुझे नहीं आना वरना.
And they were like, Sharyar bhai was like, please, we would love for you to do it. And then I went.
पहला दिन सेट पे कैसा था?
पहला दिन actually went to set and we didn't shoot my scene.
Disappointing था? Yeah, you were relieved.
I was very relieved by the way that day, but we got to break the character, and then obviously first day tha, so it was a little bit like everyone was getting their momentum. So in the end when they're like back, I was like, oh, मेरा scene भी है, but okay fine. And then the second day was like my first day.
तो क्या पहला scene कौन सा shoot किया?
I entered the living room और पप्पो बैठी हुई है and I'm like, मैं जा रही हूँ. I'm leaving the house post the funeral. Okay. So that was the first thing.
मैं आपकी बात सुन रही थी तो आपने कहा कि मिनाल जो है वो अपनी माँ की ही काइंड ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन है कि जो जिस तरह उसके बाप का असर माँ पे हुआ था उसी तरह बेटी पे भी है. और ये बड़ी मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग आपकी थॉट लगी बिकॉज मैंने ऐसे नहीं सोचा था. तो जब ये कैरेक्टर आपके पास आया, स्क्रिप्ट आया, तो आपने इसको कैसे डेवलप किया, कैसे इसको प्रिपेयर किया? क्योंकि ये मुझे इस बात ने शो किया कि यू थॉट वेरी डीपली अबाउट दिस कैरेक्टर. तो ये पढ़ के आपको खुद ये चीज़ें आ रही थी समझ, या ये दानिश साहब के साथ बैठ के आपने ये चीज़ें समझी? व्हाट वाज द प्रोसेस?
इट वाज बोथ. इट वाज मोर सो विद दानिश भाई क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली मैं अपने ओन असम्पशंस के साथ नहीं जाना चाह रही थी कि मैंने कैरेक्टर बना लिया है, फिर ही थॉट ऑफ इट एज समथिंग डिफरेंट. तो मैंने जब स्क्रिप्ट आई थी मेरे पास, आई रेड इट ट्वाइस, एंड देन जब मैं सेट पर गई थी, एवरी मोमेंट जहाँ वो फ्री थे आई वुड बी लाइक प्लीज़ मेरे साथ बैठकर मुझे बताएं what you're seeing for this. A lot of work was done on set, so that came with a lot of conversations about the character. Sorry, that's what you asked. That came with a lot of conversations about the character. उन्होंने बताया था मुझे कि वो कैसे देखते हैं मिनाल को, and when I was reading it मुझे समझ नहीं आता था a lot of the times कि मिनाल like why wouldn't she speak up, and that was a little bit of my own dissection where I realized कि like she still comes from a very conservative family. She still comes from a very reserved upbringing. Her mother had to basically wear certain colors. So obviously she's not like running wild, right? तो उसकी भी उसकी
personality पे भी असर हुआ होगा.
थोड़ा सा reflection है. तो जब वो नहीं like जब वो गुस्सा भी होती है वो गुस्सा नहीं होती क्योंकि that's not what she's taught. She can't like yell at like these men the way she wants to because that's not how she's raised, right? She's never seen her mother do it. तो उसको पता है कि like उसकी अम्मी की भी इन एसेंस एक ऐसी अपब्रिंगिंग हुई है थ्रू हर फादर, क्योंकि हर मदर वाज ऑब्वियसली यंगर जब उनकी शादी हुई थी, तो उसकी भी वैसे ही अपब्रिंगिंग हुई है, मगर लिटिल बिट मोर लीनियंट ऑब्वियसली, क्योंकि शी इज़ हिज डॉटर, राइट? तो यू स्टिल लिसन टू मे बी व्हाट योर डॉटर वांट्स टू डू, मगर दैट्स व्हाई आई फील लाइक वो इतनी वोकल नहीं हो सकती एंड इतनी लाइक हार्शली एडवोकेट नहीं कर सकती, स्पेशली जब especially when her husband is saying to her, तो obviously वो similar dynamic तो आएगा where she has noticed that her mother has never spoken back to her father, so she's never going to disrespect her husband or speak back to him in that manner to be like you don't know what you're talking about. थोड़ा सा तो मिरर होता है, I guess.
ट्रू, ये मेरा सवाल भी था एक्चुअली कि क्या मिनाल कभी कभी आपको फ्रस्ट्रेट करती थी क्योंकि बाकी सब लोग कुछ ना कुछ कर रहे होते थे, मिनाल इज द ओनली वन जो वहीं खड़ी है, यू नो, उसमें ज़्यादा मूवमेंट ही हम देख रहे हैं, हमारा भी दिल चाहता था कभी कभी कि मिनाल कुछ करे, ज़्यादा करे फ्रॉम व्हाट शी इज डूइंग, बट नाउ यू हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड कि वो इस वजह से वो नहीं कर पाती थी, कि उसके ऊपर भी असर है अपने माँ और बाप की, यू नो, सिचुएशन का. मिनाल माँ के पास क्यों नहीं गई अभी तक? एक्सीडेंट के बाद भी जाना नहीं चाहिए था उसको? एक फ़ोन तो करती.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
I think there's reason for it.
आगे जाके पता चलेगा.
हाँ, there's like reason for it. There's a little bit of fear. There's a little bit of
fear किस चीज़ का?
Obedience, fear from her husband.
अच्छा, fear from husband, okay.
Maybe क्योंकि ये सिचुएशन इतनी,
एक कॉल भी नहीं की माँ को, मुझे बस इस बात का दुख हो रहा है, बिकॉज मैं मिनाल से बहुत खुश थी, मैंने कहा मिनाल बहुत माँ का ख्याल रखती है, शुक्र है कोई तो उसके साथ है, तो हम बड़े डिसअपॉइंटेड हो गए, मिनाल ने कॉल भी नहीं की माँ को.
आई थिंक क्योंकि वो खुद भी बहुत बिट्रेड फील करती है, क्योंकि उसको इट्स नॉट लाइक कि अभी इस सिचुएशन में एटलीस्ट हर मदर डिडंट टेक हर इनटू कॉन्फिडेंस टू बी लाइक कि मैं ये कर रही हूँ. उसको पता चला जब सबको पता चला, एंड आई थिंक क्योंकि वो इतने क्लोज हैं, शी टुक दैट टू हार्ट. इट वाज वेरी like,
is it really that कि उसको betrayal feel हो रही है, या वो embarrassed feel कर रही है कि माँ ने अपनी आधी उम्र के लड़के से शादी कर लिया? What is the real reason?
I think she is feeling betrayed. Okay. Because it's not like वो कोई like वो story like she couldn't have thought of a.
So उसको इतराज़ इस बात पे नहीं है कि माँ ने उसको ज़्यादा दुख इस बात का कि माँ ने उसको confidence में नहीं लिया.
I feel like मुझे लगता है कि अगर माँ ने उसको बताया हुआ होता पहले से, तो वो कोई ना कोई जस्टिफिकेशन
कर लेती
और सबको लाइक कह देती कि दिस इज व्हाट हैज.
क्या वो एक्सेप्ट कर लेती?
I feel like she was in the process. लेकिन क्योंकि it hit her like a truck, just like it hit everyone like a truck, तो वो justify नहीं कर पाई एकदम से. तो maybe अगर वो हर स्टेप पर होती कि अब मैं जा रही हूँ, आई थिंक मैंने क्या करवा रही हूँ, यू नो, दिस दैट, आई थिंक इट वुड हैव बीन ईजियर फॉर हर टू अब्सॉर्ब एज अपोज टू फीलिंग लाइक कि मैं एडवोकेट कर रही थी और मैं अबैंडन हो गई हूँ, यू नो.
दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग.
तो आई थिंक इट्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ दैट, एंड आई थिंक इट्स आल्सो ईगो एंड लाइक आई कांट बिलीव यू डिडंट टेल मी.
क्या करना पड़ेगा माहिर को कि मिनाल माहिर और मेहरू को एक्सेप्ट कर ले?
आप
देखेंगे हिंट नहीं देंगी आप? बारिश का सीन बहुत इंटेंस था. Was it difficult to shoot?
It was very fun.
क्या किया मुझे?
क्योंकि बारिश हो रही थी and it was I think a very hot day, लेकिन it was very fun क्योंकि it was just like raining. मगर I had never shot the rain sequence, तो when I was hearing कि कोई raining कोई sequence I was like, oh my god, पता है हम बारिश में भी shoot करेंगे. I was excited. Other people were a little bit like
हम गीले हो जाएंगे.
Actually, I got a bit upset क्योंकि पूरा रंग कपड़ों से निकल लग गया था, and those clothes had to be in continuity, so I was a little upset about that. But other than that, it was fun. It was very intense. It was like rain, and the summer was like crazy, and then it was like
because जो आपका सीन था आप उसमें रो रही थी, and I saw the expressions. I was like यहाँ अच्छी performance नजर आ रही है, तो वो उस point से भी बोल रही थी कि वो, you know, for somebody new to handle all that, you know, going around and give expressions, वो challenging हुआ होगा.
I think it was one of those. I think at that point जब हमने वो shoot भी किया हुआ था, वो मैंने काफ़ी shoot कर लिया था, तो जब वो किया था I was a bit more comfortable then. So it was fun. Like I said, it was very few times I was actually like, oh my god, you know, this is fun. So that was obviously towards the end. So it was one of those scenes where I thought कि अब मैं ready हूँ ऐसी like ऐसा scene के लिए.
और बाकी सबका देख रहे थे आप लोग जब shoot कर रहे थे, वो लोग कर रहे थे उसी वक्त हो रहा था ये सब?
क्या मतलब सबका अलग अलग? नहीं सबका सेम टाइम पर
हाँ,
हुआ
तो वो
था।
देखने में मज़ा आ रहा होगा कि अब बिलाल और उसामा
honestly,
का
I
और
was very
हदीका
impressed
का।
with Osama and his like acting in that moment and like how in character he was. Even Bilal, even Hadika ji. Actually, everyone was really good.
Yeah.
So when you're like in that energy, you're like, "Acha, I need to perform too." So it was very motivating to see.
बट माहीन, इतने बड़े नामों के साथ आप एक्ट करने जा रही थी, तो नर्व्स थोड़ी परेशान थी। हाउ डिड यू काम योर नर्व्स? व्हाट वर यू थिंकिंग?
अच्छा, मैंने कह दिया, मैंने शुरू में कह दिया।
हाँ, क्या कहती है?
तो जब मैं गई थी मेकअप रूम में, it was the first date with Sakina Appa and Hadika ji, and they're both sitting and they're like, Sakina Appa's running her lines and they come in and I come in and they're like, hello, you know, like we all exchange, and then I'm sitting there, I'm just like looking at them because I don't know what to do. And they were just like, I was like, I'm very nervous, I'm very starstruck right now.
Of course.
Yeah. So जब मैंने उनको ये कहा, after that it was fine. Like I had very good relationships with them individually, so that was fine. And also they were very helpful. Like no one was ever annoyed कि मुझसे कुछ नहीं हो रहा था. तो that like level of respect became even more कि they're really patient and this is why they're really good at what they do, because they have that level of respect for the craft, composure, कि कोई नया आया है, you know, and all of that type of stuff. So
सबसे ज़्यादा किसके साथ सीन करने से घबरा रही थी?
It was always a mix. It wasn't ghabrana. It was just because they were so senior. So it was Sakina Appa. When I had a one-on-one with her, I would get a bit nervous. Although she was very, very kind about it, and Bilal as well, just because they were so. And I didn't have many scenes with Bilal, so we never like had a
conversation.
We didn't have like much to work on together. So when I would do my scenes with him, I had to be mean to him, right? And I didn't have much of a like relationship with him, so like it was a bit difficult to like start screaming in someone's face. और वही चीज़ होती थी, मुझे गुस्सा हो रहा था तो मेरा दिल धड़क रहा होता था माइक के अंदर. So then people would just be like, are you just really nervous to work with this person?
Oh God.
But it was both of them, because Sakina Appa ke saath bhi, she would just do it in one go and I would take like a few goes.
And kiske saath you were looking forward to do a scene?
Where I was most comfortable, it was usually like Sabina and Osama were really fun to work with, because it's just like we got along really well. Nabil was really fun to work with. Actually, Hadika ji was super fun to work with. When we had our scenes, like me and Hadika ji, we would just run them so many times that by the time I was on set, I would feel good. So these were all people I could actually go to and be like, please, मेरे साथ lines कर.
So नबील के साथ आप लोग बैठ के आप और नबील अपना सीन पूरा प्रिपेयर करते थे, because सबसे ज़्यादा सीन्स तो आई थिंक सबसे ज़्यादा नहीं, बट उनके साथ काफ़ी सीन्स हैं आपके ना, और इट रिक्वायर्ड अ सर्टेन केमिस्ट्री आल्सो. तो क्या प्रोसेस था?
He was very patient. Like the reason why a lot of my scenes I personally like a lot with him is because he would not get irritated or annoyed at all. Garmi mein, like he's just standing there, just like waiting for me to, you know.
So nice.
And yeah, very very nice like that, and very good in terms of like, let's do the lines. Pehle tum pad lo, then I'll read it, and then we'll come together and we'll do it. So he was very good, professional, good to work with, and very comfortable to work with, because I think he's done it for a really long time, and also he's really good at what he does, and he knew I was nervous. He's like, my first project was something like this. Okay.
अच्छा, I'm going to ask you something about all these people.
Okay.
एक के बारे में एक specific question मैं पूछती हूँ. तो try to tell me a story.
Okay.
मज़ा तब आएगा, ठीक है?
Okay. I have to think though.
हाँ. सकीना जी, मुझे लगता है जब भी कोई उनके साथ काम करता है तो एक तो वो बातें बड़े मज़े की करती हैं, गप्पे बड़ी लगाती हैं, बट वो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ आपको सिखाती भी हैं. तो आपने क्या सीखा उनसे, और कोई मज़े का वाक़या अगर सुना सकें?
There's this one really funny one. हम एक sequence shoot कर रहे थे, जो हम garden में सब बैठे हुए थे, I was going to pour the chai. तो मैं चाय pour कर रही हूँ, and I'm just like, सब अपनी lines आ रही हैं, मेरी line आ रही है, तो मैंने उनको चाय दी, लेकिन मैंने चमचा चाय के अंदर छोड़कर उनको ऐसे दे दी, and I was like putting the wrong things in, and she got so upset with me. And she's like, you like have studied outside, like what how are you making the chai? And she's like, people see these things, you know, like she's very, and I learned a lot in that moment, because she's like, people will know कि तुमने like चमचा चाय के अंदर छोड़कर ऐसे दे दिए, और like पहले दूध डाल रही हो फिर चाय डाल रही हो, you know, people will notice these things, so you have to be careful, right? Like chill out kind of thing. You know, I remember she got really like think about like continuity में हम कैसे करेंगे. So I learned a lot about like the small things with her, like just this, like you know, this, you know,
but
the
actually
action
point of
has
view
to
से क्या सीखा?
like the action has to have a meaning behind it, right? Like you're not just mindlessly बस चाय आप डालकर किसी को चमचे के साथ दे दिया है, you know, be present in the moment. So that moment I remember I was like, it's okay, like chai ke andar chamcha hai to hai, right? But later on I realized she's right, like I have to be like I'm making the chai, so would I give this chai to someone? No.
हदीका के साथ आपका अच्छा मज़े का, उन्होंने भी बोला कि वो आपको बहुत आप दोनों का बड़ा अच्छा कनेक्शन हो गया था, बड़ा अच्छी गपशप भी लगती थी, तो वो कैसे आपको सपोर्ट करती थी, किस तरीके से आपको ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल करती थी सीन्स में?
Her presence is just so calming. Like obviously you've met her. She has this energy about her. It's so calm. It's so relaxing. Like the way she speaks, her voice. I'm just like, okay. So when we would work together, she had this energy about her. That's literally what I used to look forward to. I'd be like, oh yes, all my scenes are with her today. So I would be like, no worries.
आराम से, सुकून से. गलती भी हो जाए तो घबराना नहीं.
Yeah, and you know, something I also really admire about her. She would sit through all of my mess ups. Like she would sit there to give me my cues, and she didn't need to do that, right? Because एक scene अगर मुझे if I can do it in 15 minutes, it's taking me 30 minutes. You can get up and get ready for your next scene, but she would sit there through all my cues. And even when someone would be like, आप जा सकती हैं, would just make someone stand there, she'd be like, नहीं मुझे क्यों देनी है? So that just shows
that's very nice of her.
That why she's where she is because of like these small things. Not small things, huge things that she does.
कभी गाना सुना था उनसे?
Yeah. She would sometimes sing in between the light हो रही होती थी.
That's so nice,
yeah,
huh?
It was so
She
nice.
sings so well. Yeah. बिलाल से पहली बार मिली तो क्या रिएक्शन था? Were you starstruck?
Yes, because I had watched Cheek like literally a couple of months before that, so I was like, oh my god, like I've watched very few dramas, but I was like, whoa, like this guy was in this. So I also know he's a really good actor, and he's been working for so long, and he's very like revered. So it was nice. I didn't have many scenes with him, but he was very, very fun to work with. He was very professional, very kind. Also, same thing, would sit through all of my, you know, mess ups. Lekin, very like professional, very, very patient. Like there's a scene where we have to walk up to the table. So every time we walk up to the table, it would look like कि हम किसी चीज़ के बारे में बात करें. So we did it like 7-8 times because I think मैं mess up कर रही थी. तो जब भी हम जाते थे, I just be like, oh, कैसे? So it was just like, yeah, अच्छा ठीक है. By the 7th time, it's like, stop.
Okay. उसामा के साथ. उसामा काफी गपशप लगा के रखते हैं.
He's very fun to work with. We had a very like sibling chemistry because half the time I'm just telling him off. So it translated also onto set. It was very fun to work with him. वो भी बहुत calming था in the sense के like chill out. Sometimes मेरी lines मुझे ऐसे like बताता था दूर से to be
that's
like
so
yeah,
cute.
to
That's
be
so
like
nice.
because everyone also wanted to finish the scene. I'd be messing and he'd be like saying my line to me, but very 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 sweet in that way and very 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 good actor. Very good actor.
और दानिश साहब के साथ कैसा? Tell me something about him.
I don't know. He
that
made
you
me act. It
that
was, like,
you learned
insane.
from him.
So much. He's so patient. I learned so much technical stuff from him, like being on set. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very like light, easy to work with. Very very talented, and when he has a vision, executes it. And it was a very good environment to work in. Like he was very nice. Also like. He's put me in the drama, and honestly, like he probably saw something that even maybe like a lot of people didn't see. So
yeah,
I'm really happy and grateful to him for that. Yeah.
What would you advise to people, नए लोग जो industry में enter हो रहे हैं, उसको क्या advice देंगी?
Do your homework. Like जितना भी आप देख सकते हैं, जितना भी आप जितनी classes आप ले सकते हैं, listen to what older people say to you. Listen to what people in the industry who have been in the industry for a long time say to you. Because they're not saying it from like from any place. They're saying it because they've made the mistakes, you know. And I feel like a lot of us don't like listening to older people. They're like, हमें पता है what we're doing. लेकिन it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
और अगर आप उस mistake से learn कर सकते हैं या वो mistake नहीं, like you don't make that mistake, then listen. Yeah, listen to them. That is a very important thing.
Thank you so much for your time. मिनाल कहने वाली थी मैं मिनाल के बारे में बातें करके I hope इतना scary नहीं था.
नहीं, it was fine. It was fine. It was actually fine, yeah.
नहीं, शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत आपके टाइम का एंड अच्छा लगा, मज़ा आया, गपशप लगा के एंड बड़े मज़े की स्टोरीज भी सुनाई हैं आपने एंड आई लाइक सम ऑफ द स्टफ दैट यू सेड व्हिच आई फील जो लोग नए आ रहे हैं इंडस्ट्री में दे पिक अप दीज थिंग्स फ्रॉम यू एंड implement it. So are you reading any more scripts? अभी क्या चल रहा है?
I am, magar there's none that have like clicked yet. So I'm taking my time with what I want to do next. I'm in no rush. And inshallah something good comes along my way, then I'll definitely
do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and we wish you all the best for your future projects.
Thank you.